League 2 predictions, the playoffs, semi-final, leg 1.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Very Biased Opinions for a very exciting episode. We haven't done any of League 2 all season apart from a few random off-the-cuff predictions that we did at the start of the season. But as it's time for the playoffs, we thought, hey, why the hell not? Let's do some predictions about it. If you've been living in a cave, you're probably aware that the season did not play its full quota of games. It finished with something like 10, 11 games to go. That is obviously because of the pandemic that's been happening. And what they did to decide the league, which has been very controversial, has been a points per game system. It didn't affect League 2 too badly. It did affect League 1 quite badly, and we'll get to that when we talk about League 1. But before we dive in to the first game, we're just going to run over the sides that did get promotion. So it's a very heartfelt congratulations to Plymouth, who finished the season in third place. Congratulations getting back into League 1 after being relegated last season. Congratulations to Crewe, and another heartfelt congratulations from the Very Biased Opinion boys. For Crewe, Alexandra getting up there. Yes, Thomas?
Ian, who won the league?
We'll get to that. Yes, well done to them. Probably a massive shock. Maybe the biggest shock of the whole season was Crewe getting promotion, because I certainly didn't see them finishing that high. So well done to Crewe. And a very hearty congratulations.
Say it. Say it.
I can't say it, Thomas. I cannot say the words.
Oh my God.
You're going to have to help me.
Ian would like to personally congratulate every single Swindon Town supporter for their glorious, glorious ascent back into the League 1 by topping the League 1 table on 69 points. Congratulations, Swindon Town.
At least if Oxford don't go up, that is something to look forward to, is having the Oxford-Swindon derby next season. But well done to Swindon, and well done to Richie Wellens, doing a really good job there this season. Ow, that fucking hurt. That was painful to say. Jump into the first game before I do something terrible off camera.
Don't slit your wrists, Ian. It's Colchester United versus Exeter City.
All right, Tom, I am going to start by talking about Colchester United, who finished the season in 6th, and that is where they finished even before they started messing around with points per game. John McGreal is their boss. He's been there a while now, since 2016, and it's fair to say he's steadily improved them over the time. He's made them better year on year. The biggest question mark, which I highlighted at the start of the season in the review, was would they be able to replace the goals that Sammy Smodics provided them? And the answer is yeah, they've been pretty good. Theo Robinson's come in, he's got 11 goals. That's a pretty good return for him. They scored quite a few goals. Unfortunately, they do concede quite a few as well. They've scored 52 and conceded 37. Their form wasn't too great going into these playoffs, but what does form matter now? I mean, it's real. You haven't played a game in such a long time. It's such a blank slate. There's so many players that teams will have back from injury, or maybe loan players that maybe they won't have anymore, that it's so difficult to work on a form basis. Generally, I think this Colchester side is strong at both ends of the pitch. They've got a lot of match winners. We talked about Robinson. They've also got Norris, Nubel, Puku, Harriet and Senior. They're all players of individual brilliance that can win any game on any given day. Where they've really fallen down is they've thrown a lot of points away from winning positions. They've got a lot of draws and losses from winning positions, and arguably they could have finished even higher up. This is going to be a tough game. Both these playoffs in League 2 and League 1, they're so tight. There's virtually hardly anything between the sides, so you can't expect it to be a runaway in any one direction. I'm actually going to be very boring and go for a draw, saving it up nicely for the second leg. I'm going for a 1-1 draw.
Ian, you are boring personified. This match is going to end Colchester United 2, Exeter 3. Both sides like to score goals, both like to concede. So Exeter have officially finished in 5th. They were in 4th, but with the points per game, they dropped down one, which I think they were a little bit aggrieved at, because I think they also still had to play Plymouth before the end of the season, which would give them a chance to jump up the table. Matt Taylor's in charge of this team. He took over from Paul Tisdale, who was there for quite honestly like a decade, maybe 13 years. It was a really long time. He stepped down after they lost the playoff final to Coventry. It's his first managerial job. He's done a really good job. Last year, I think they were 14th. They've had a really good season this year. They actually have the top scorer left in League 2 football, so everyone else is done playing. But Ryan Bauman with 13 goals is leading the line for them. They are very similar to Colchester. They scored 53 and conceded 43. There are goals when Exeter play. Them scoring them for them. Sorry?
It's going to be 0-0 then, isn't it?
Knowing the way we predicted it will. They are coming in with honestly no form. They've got 5 points out of the last 15. They really needed the break and they've been given it. They've only lost 8 games, but they've conceded the most out of all these playoff teams. They like to get the ball wide, they like to score a lot of goals, and they do love a good set piece. So much experience in this side. Nicky Law, Dean Moxley, Nicky Jose, I can never say that name because I just want to call him Jose. Tom Parks, Lee Martin. It's a really good side. I think they're currently favourites to win. I think that they're going to be entertaining in the playoffs. I think both teams are going to be rusty and they're being thrown into this just randomly. So 3-2.
Northampton Town versus Cheltenham Town.
I've picked Northampton Town to speak to you about because a good friend of mine from America supports them. His name is Shaquille O'Neal. We go way, way, way back. We used to go to Lakers games together. I sat courtside while he dunked. He had Kobe. They didn't get along. He ended up moving.
Focus. Focus.
Oh, right. Football. Yes. Okay. So Keith Curl is our manager. He's been there 2 years. Came in October 2018. Another side, all these teams have scored between like 52 and 54 goals this season. Northampton have also conceded 40. Their top scorer is actually a joint between Andy Williams and Sam Hoskins. They have lost for longer than I can remember. I love this because they're coming off a loss, which means clearly they're going to win this next match. They actually came 16th last season, and Keith Curl's actually really transformed them to a much better team. They've had some dips in form this season, meaning that they've lost 13 games. Like I said, win-loss, win-loss. It's the most losses of any playoff side. They're really direct style of play, quite aggressive. Some would say it's too aggressive when you tally up 81 yellow cards and 4 reds, but how come they didn't get to 90? Williams and Hoskins and Nicky Adams provide the experience at top. They've got some excellent prospects in defense in Charlie Goodev, Scott Wharton, and Jordan Turnbull. They can be like Colchester and throw leads away, but they've beaten Swindon, Plymouth, and Exeter this season. And like I said, Shaquille O'Neal has bought a cutout for this match. If that doesn't tell you that this team means business, I don't know what does. And as such, another truly inspired performance in this playoffs will have Northampton Town beating Cheltenham Town 3-1.
What has this game got anything to do with basketball, Thomas? Oh, the only thing I know about basketball is Shaquille O'Neal is my favourite Chicago Bulls player of all time. The other thing is Cheltenham, similarly to Northampton. Northampton had Keith Curl, who's come in and really transformed the club. The same thing has happened for Cheltenham Town with Michael Duff. He came in the middle of last season where they looked like they could be relegated. They were in a terrible run of form, and he's absolutely transformed them. I thought they'd be finishing mid-table this season. He's gone one step further, got them fourth. They were very, very close to nearly going up automatically. So he's done an incredible job. They don't really have one player who's like an out-and-out scorer. Ryan Broomer's got 8, but they really share the goals around, and they have scored quite a few goals in 52. But the biggest thing about Cheltenham is they do not concede. Only conceded 27 goals. They were in fantastic form before we had the break of winning 4 games and drawing 1 out of the last 5. They play a good style, 3-5-2, which I really think it helps their play. They play a lot of counter-attack, and that helps them really to share the goals around a lot. Their defensive unit, their sort of back core is really, really strong. Flinders, the goalkeeper, Greaves, Tozer, and ex-Oxford United's Charlie Ragnam make up the back line. I talked about the form. It's actually only 1 defeat in the last 10. I really like Charlie Ragnam at Oxford. He was a player that Robinson did not give a chance to. Last season, I thought he could have easily stepped in and done a job at the back, but it was a player that fell out of favour with Carl Robinson, and he's gone to Cheltenham, and he's done a really good job, so I'm pleased to see him land on his feet. I don't know why Exeter are given as the favourites for this, because I think Cheltenham Town should be the favourites for these playoffs, and I think they're going to win this game, and I think they're going to win this tie quite comfortably. I'm going 2-0 to Cheltenham.
I feel like Exeter are getting a lot of credit for the fact that they've been in the playoffs so many times in the last couple of years. They've also lost.
I think it's quite similar to... I think it's quite similar, like the bookies. I don't know how much they really look at these things or whether they just go off names. And obviously they're going to go off what people back as well. Because if you look at the League One, Portsmouth are the favourites, and I reckon a lot of that's just because they're Portsmouth.
Yeah,
I reckon a lot of that might just be because they're Exeter. They're arguably the biggest side in it.
It's true. Well, that's it, Ian. That's our first leg predictions. Obviously, come back in about a week's time and check out the second leg predictions. They'll be up sometime around the 19th to the 20th of June. We'd like to thank you all for watching. Please stay safe. Please keep fighting for what you believe in. Please do everything else you like. Please keep liking, commenting, subscribing, and all that fantastic stuff. Ian, pipe down. I can see it in your eyes.
Who cares about all that stuff? It's football's all we care about.
And we thank you for watching. We'll see you later.